The whispering walls of Blackwood Manor. The wind howled like a banshee outside Blackwood Manor, the ancient stone house groaning under its relentless assault. Inside, Amelia clutched a frayed teddy bear, its one remaining button eye staring blankly into the dying embers of the fireplace. Dust motes danced in the firelight, weaving spectral shapes that writhed on the walls. Amelia, barely 18, had inherited Blackwood Manor from a distant relative she'd never met. The imposing house, perched atop a windswept cliff overlooking the churning sea, was all she had left. Orphaned at a young age, Amelia had bounced around foster homes, yearning for a place to call home. Blackwood Manor, despite its ominous air, felt like a lifeline. The first few days were unsettling. The house seemed to hold its breath, the silence broken only by the creak of floorboards and the rhythmic groan of the wind. But on the third night, a sound slithered into Amelia's dreams. A faint whisper, like dry leaves rustling in a forgotten corner. She woke with a jolt, heart hammering against her ribs, the source of the sound lost in the vast darkness of the room. The whispers continued, growing more insistent with each passing night. They seemed to emanate from the walls themselves, a chorus of voices too faint to discern, yet too present to ignore. Amelia would lie awake, her mind conjuring words she couldn't quite grasp, a chilling sensation crawling up her spine. One morning, exploring the dusty labyrinth of rooms, Amelia stumbled upon a hidden chamber tucked away behind a heavy tapestry. Inside, the air hung thick with a stifling silence. A single, ornate chair sat in the center, facing a large, ornately framed mirror. As Amelia drew closer, she saw a faded inscription etched into the frame. Veritas revelator in silentio. Truth is revealed in silence. A shiver ran down her spine. The whispers in this room were absent, replaced by an oppressive stillness. Curiosity gnawing at her, Amelia sat in the chair, gazing into the mirror. Her reflection stared back, pale and drawn, the fear etched on her face unmistakable. Suddenly, a ripple distorted the reflection's surface. The image of Amelia contorted, the corners of her lips curving upwards in a grotesque smile. Then, in a raspy voice that seemed to echo not from the mirror, but from within the walls itself, a single word emerged. Sister. Amelia scrambled back, heart pounding a frantic tattoo. Sister? She had no siblings, but the memory of the whisper, chilling and distinct, refused to fade. Days turned into weeks, the whispers growing bolder, weaving a nightmarish narrative. They spoke of a young girl, Amelia's ancestor, imprisoned within the walls of Blackwood Manor by her jealous older sister. The whispers described a struggle, a scream cut short, and a terrible silence that followed. They accused Amelia, the descendant, of being complicit in the forgotten crime, her very presence a reminder of the injustice. The accusations tore at Amelia's sanity. Sleep became a distant memory, replaced by a constant vigil against the relentless whispers. She scoured the house, searching for answers. She discovered dusty diaries hidden behind loose floorboards, filled with cryptic messages and desperate pleas for help. The final entry, scrawled in a frantic hand, sent a wave of terror through her. It spoke of a hidden room, accessible only from behind the mirror in the hidden chamber. Armed with a crowbar, Amelia smashed the mirror, the sound echoing through the silent house. Behind it, a narrow passage gaped, darkness oozing from within. Hesitantly, Amelia lit a lantern and stepped into the passage. The air grew thick and stale, the whispers intensifying until they were a cacophony in her ears. The passage twisted and turned, leading deeper into the heart of Blackwood Manor. Finally, she emerged into a circular room, its walls lined with dusty portraits of stern-faced ancestors. In the center of the room, a skeletal hand protruded from the wall, clutching a rusted key. As Amelia stepped closer, compelled by a morbid curiosity, a voice boomed through the room, cold, ancient, and filled with malice. "Welcome, descendant. You have finally returned to face your judgment." Amelia whirled around, searching for the source of the voice. It seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. Terror choked her voice as she realized the accusations were not aimed at her ancestor, but at her. The whispers had been a trap, weaving a narrative of guilt, manipulating her into revealing the secret of the hidden room. Now, the entity trapped within the walls had a vessel, Amelia herself. As the voice echoed with cruel laughter, a darkness tendrilled from the skeletal hand, wrapping around Amelia's arm. It pulsed with a cold, malevolent energy, seeping into her, replacing her. The darkness from the skeletal hand engulfed Amelia entirely, consuming her screams. The portraits on the wall began to animate, their eyes glowing with an evil light. They cackled in unison, their voices morphing into Amelia's own. A moment later, the possessed Amelia emerged from the secret room, eyes vacant and glowing with the same malevolent energy. She walked back towards Blackwood Manor, a chilling smile playing on her lips. Her footsteps echoed faintly down the corridor, a stark contrast to the unnatural silence that had descended upon the hidden chamber. A young couple, Sarah and Michael, driving along the coastal road at dusk. Sarah, with her nose buried in a map, looks up and gasps, pointing excitedly. "Michael, look, that must be Blackwood Manor." Michael, peering through the windshield, sees the imposing silhouette of the house perched atop the cliff. A shiver runs down his spine. He'd heard whispers about the place, a cursed house best left alone. "Maybe we should find another route," he suggests hesitantly. Sarah, oblivious to his unease, beams. "Nonsense. It looks fascinating. Come on, a little detour won't hurt." Michael sighs, relenting to Sarah's adventurous spirit. As they turn onto the narrow road leading to the house, the car's headlights illuminate a sign hanging precariously at the entrance. A single word scrawled in faded paint, "Beware." Michael casts Sarah a worried glance, but she's already out of the car, practically skipping towards the imposing mansion. He follows reluctantly, a knot of unease tightening in his stomach. Reaching the doorway, Sarah pushes open the massive oak doors with surprising ease. They creak open, revealing a dark and dusty interior. "Hello?" Sarah calls out, her voice echoing through the silent house. No response. Sarah takes a tentative step inside, followed by a hesitant Michael. Suddenly, a single window on the upper floor flickers to life, revealing a young woman with glowing red eyes staring back at them. A wide, chilling smile spreads across the possessed Amelia's face. Her lips, moving in perfect sync with the voices that now echoed from within the walls, whisper a single word. "Welcome home, brother."